Good morning, Metal Tiger.
Hey Alex, how you doing?
Thanks very much for LSE Share Talk popping in today.
No problem, you're the only one wearing a tie.
I know, and I'm in the background. I was running late this morning. I was supposed to be on Tip TV, but I don't want to talk about that. Great night last night at the show for Man and Maven. Greatland Gold, and you made an appearance as well.
Yeah, we just did a little intro.
You
But
enjoyed
the
it?
main show was Red Rock Resources and Greatland.
Yeah.
Right, which we've got obviously quite a significant investment in both of them.
I thought that the guys were good actually. Callum
Callum isn't the most
yeah.
exciting character in the world, of course, but he's a very, very good geologist. And he's a very capable technical person, and he knows his business exceptionally well. So we're obviously I'm on the board, so I'm limited in what I can say, but we're hugely enthused about Greatland Gold and the opportunity. And we're delighted to be working with Callum. I've known him for a long time. I've never worked with him before, but I can tell you in the background, in the board meetings, in the work we do day to day, he's excellent, and I'm delighted to be there. And we believe we're going to make some decent money out of that investment. Otherwise, we wouldn't have put the money in. We're already quite a way up, of course, but we think there's a potential for a lot more.
So today you had an RNS update, Mud Resources. I seen it on the Australian market actually last night or this morning. But what's your thoughts on that?
Just continues to prove up something that has very big potential.
It was a good announcement really with the figures and everything, but the markets don't seem to be reacting to it.
Well, might have got an open offer at the moment, a rights issue or whatever, so we don't expect their price to do much until that's tied off. And that probably, muffles any effect to our price to some degree, because people would think if it's as good as it seems that their price would move when the Australian market's open, and therefore jump on the Metal Tiger bandwagon because that doesn't move. I mean, this is
No, like a
this
knock-on
is an
effect.
opinion.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, maybe I don't know, maybe it's not as big as it could be or something, because their price isn't moving, but their price is not moving for a different reason. So we think maybe that effect is why it's not having a dramatic change yet. But we'll continue to hit the results. So
Yeah.
the mineralisation is there. It's a very impressive operation. We were just there last week.
Yeah.
So obviously the core samples, you probably have to ship them out of country, won't you, to get them tested? They don't get done in Botswana, would they?
No, it's South Africa in terms of the
Yeah. So I'm saying
part of
just
the
for the
processing
time.
and testing
Yeah,
in
that's
South
what I mean. It's a
Africa.
long process, like it's not a short process.
It is, yeah,
That's
but
what I'm
now it's
trying to say.
continuous because the amount of data or the amount of drilling that's been done, there's a regular amount of core going through, and finally we hope that there'll be a regular flow of news to market. If the announcements are all like today's, then we'll be jumping up and down delighted because we've got, I hope I don't quote the figures wrong, but 366 grams a tonne, about 12 ounces of silver per tonne at the highest level, and 21.5% copper. We've got soil anomalies in a zone that's in excess of 12 kilometres long. You don't see many projects, many opportunities that have that kind of data. This is unusual. We said remarkable opportunity in the RNS, and we mean it. We think it's a remarkable opportunity. The fact the market doesn't react to an announcement like today is bizarre, really, but probably, as Cameron said, explained by the fact that MOD Resources share price is pinned down by their rights issue. They've got to get through that problem. One hopes that will be very, very quickly resolved, and they'll get the money in, and then we all move forward happily. And there's a proper supply-demand effect on the share price when this kind of news comes out. This is exceptionally good news. No one needs to be in any doubt here. These are very good intersections. They're continuing the very good data that we've had thus far, but this is probably the best in absolute terms data that we've been able to release in RNS. If this carries on, and if this carries on across this huge opportunity in excess of 12-kilometre soil anomaly zone, then it's completely transforming for us. And we're only at the start of the process. I mean, Michael, you were out there in Botswana and you saw the samples, and obviously you're limiting what you can say, but what did you feel about this project?
I mean, it's a very tight operation out there, that's what I can say. You can see that the guys on the ground have got their team running. They've got all the various rigs up and running. They've got one on standby in case one breaks down. Jax is an experienced exploration manager. He's seen several of these deposits and he's never seen anything like it. So it's very positive.
You're quite happy with obviously the operations.
Yeah,
moving forward.
and in response to your earlier question, obviously right now it's going to South Africa for testing, but there are possibilities to bring something remote to increase the speed at which we get results back. So
and also, yeah, you sort of made the point that there was a bit of a drag or delay in getting results out. But you know, we only started drilling 2 months ago.
yeah,
And we're accelerating in the drilling program. You know, we're about to get our fourth rig out there. And in that part of the world, they don't just have redundant capacity. You know, that they can just call on the people with the expertise to help with assays and core.
So you've got to bring it in
testing.
country, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's happening, but that's why it's not like, I don't know, in parts of Australia you just, you know, you could just ramp up what you need. As soon as you start drilling more, it's not quite set up like that.
More complex.
So that's sort of developing as well. That's just a slight infrastructure thing. But it's going fantastically well, and these are really tightly run operations, meticulous how they're dealing with everything there, and it's fantastic. It's great to be on site to see the core samples coming straight out of the ground and being laid down in front of you, and obviously even to the naked eye being able to pick up on a few things.
Can we touch on the Thailand project? Because obviously we've got Michael who spends a lot of time on the ground there.
Yeah, well, in fairness, Michael is shipping out to Thailand shortly. We're getting.
He's always there.
for a
Never
period
gets
of
home.
time. Yeah.
Saudi crop.
He's learning Thai very slowly. He's not quite got the mature, sophisticated mind that myself and Cameron have, you see. So he takes it on slowly.
Yeah.
No, he's going out because we. Forgive me for just running through your role, but Michael's company secretary and commercial contract manager. So anyone who's kind of switched on to what I've just said will understand the significance of that. And we're at a very, very advanced stage with regard to Thailand now, and we need his skills and capability in the field. If you could just explain what your background is, and then people might understand a bit better as to the kind of thing you can do in Thailand.
So I'm an ex-nominated advisor, worked with Allenby Capital and Arden Partners. I then joined Coincilium briefly to help them with their assessment of their corporate transactions before finally joining Metal Tiger as co-sec and commercial manager. I have a background in economics, and obviously a lot of the Nomad work is going through contracts and structuring and process. And so I'm applying that sort of skill base on the ground in Thailand to try and help get this project over the line and the deal agreed, and to help with the planning, and also to provide an interface between London and Thailand, because obviously these guys can't be out there all the time.
All right, I remember when you were at Concilium actually.
Yeah.
I remember when you were at Coin. So we have met on a few occasions.
Yeah.
You stay in the background a lot as well. That's obviously the two good-looking ones there out in the front.
Yeah,
and
I'm not
Pink
a
shirt brigade,
leave the pink shirt brigade to it.
You gotta have somebody promoting and somebody in the background, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying people don't realise the amount of hard work you put in yourself, you know.
But Michael was at the Nomad that when we did the reverse for Metal Tiger of Brady Exploration. He was at Allenby Capital at the time, and he went on to Arden Partners. But nevertheless, that's how we first met.
Bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got some questions from your investors.
Yes. Well, just to jump back to Botswana.
Oh, sorry, I apologise.
Because you did tell me that there were lots of questions about the Q&A. The rate and pace of knowledge growth and the database that we're building in Botswana is immense. This story changes all the time. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and better and better and better. And it makes it very difficult to peg specific responses to a lot of the questions that have been asked. Now, we've got the Q&A, we've got lots of answers on the Q&A, but because of the stuff that's been coming in recently, and you've seen some of that today in the RNS, we've just had to hold back a bit. And we will get that out to investors as soon as we can. But many of the questions that have been asked are already being addressed through today's RNS and the future RNSs that we'll release. So we just need to get the right time. We're not holding back. We're not being hopelessly inefficient. It's just we want to release something that's relevant. And as I say, half of the stuff that people are asking will be addressed through the formal RNSs anyway, in the very near future, if not today.
That doesn't make my questions look too good at the moment then.
Yeah.
Probably.
So that's
these
all
are from last week.
60% of your questions gone in one go.
So the first one, the Blue Share, have put a lot of the website have put a lot of these, and the Twitter guys and girls. In Botswana, updates delay only due to lab sampling or other issues. There's the first question straight away.
Yeah, just as we touched
You've
on,
just touched on that
lab
really,
sampling and just gearing up really. As I say, we started drilling 2 months ago, and we're rapidly accelerating that drill program. And you know, they just don't have the infrastructure, the redundant capacity lying around, and the expertise in that part of the world. You know, sitting ready on standby for that. So that's getting developed. It's an infrastructure thing.
So these questions are obviously mixed up, so they're not on one topic, and this
Yeah.
is just the way they've been put together. What has been done to protect investments in Thailand in the event of the Thai government closing down or seizing gold mines? It's about
Yeah, I mean, they haven't closed down the Chatri gold mine, but there have been some delays because they've had issues with you know, the way Kingsgate subsidiaries possibly been doing, you know, operating and how they're trying to move forward together. But you know, they are protective of their gold assets, but Metal Tiger's main focus is non-gold assets in Thailand, and in any jurisdiction where they do have a developing, you know, mining industry, I suppose, and mindset of what that means, it takes time. So you do need to basically spend the years in there developing, as we had done before bringing Metal Tiger to the market initially, actually, and as we've continued to do. You know, there's as the world knows through our RNSs, but there's a silver lead zinc mine there that we're looking to participate in, and it does. None of that happens overnight, but if we're as planned can bring that into production, you know, then you have the reputation as a responsible corporate citizen, creating you know, economic growth in a certain part of the country and looking after, you know, employing breadwinners and families and all this type of thing, and you know, that builds reputation. You know, they can see we're not here for 5 minutes in the local government, and that puts you in the box seat, in, you know, pole position to work with them to release some of these gold assets and to let you manage them, or your team. I mean, obviously we're an investing company, so we're sort of financing operations and someone else operates, but so it's not a bad thing really, and actually because it takes time, it puts a lot of daylight between us and any competitors when we're really turning that on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also important to note that, you know, we're working closely with the family that owns the mine. They historically operated the mine. They have all the local contacts. The people we're working with out there who are actually going to be operating the mine potentially, they've been in country for 17 years and 8 years respectively. Terry's been out there for 8 years. He knows the country, he knows the risks. So, I mean, it's not just us coming from the UK and investing in something without having local experience, people who understand politics, the government, and we go out there and then they tell us, you know, what's going on. We know about the issues with the Chatri gold mine before they even get announced.
Oh, that's great. That leads us nicely on to the next question. Again, like I said, these have been submitted. These are not coming from us. Why was the Thai job ad pulled when the group found them? That's the DM group for Metal Tiger.
Yeah, basically, for those that don't know, there were a number of local Thai jobs that advertised in relation to the work that we're doing in Thailand, and they were quite heavily community support focused and liaison focused, which kind of tells you the way that we want to go as an organisation to make sure that we're looking after and bringing on the community with us in the work that we do. And they weren't pulled. The adverts appear for a period of time, and depending on how many applicants you have, you know, you keep them up there or you take them down. And some of the adverts, some of the sites that we might use have a limited period of longevity, so you put them up for 1 day, 2 days, a week, or whatever. We're not hiding anything. We're building a business in Thailand. We're recruiting Thai people, recruiting Thai field geologists, Thai mapping specialist geologists. We're recruiting. We have Thai people on the team already from a geological and permitting perspective. We're looking at bringing Thai people to work with us in London in the office, so they get experience of London work. We're trying to build a real international business. in Thailand using predominantly Thai employees across all levels of the company. So there's going to be plenty more job adverts, so keep looking. And they won't be pulled if you find them. We're not shy, we're not embarrassed about anything we do, and we're recruiting Thai people.
Well, a personal question from our website, from me anyway.
Yeah.
Will we get to meet the operators from Thailand?
You mean the mine owners or
The mine owners or so on, you know, like Metal Tiger always have a tendency that, you know, you brought Mod Resources into London.
You've only asked that question because
is this something
I
in the
said this to you
future?
before, haven't you?
Well, South
Is this something in the future you would think of?
We're going to bring the two lead managers, the exploration manager and the general manager of the Thai business over to London, and we're fortunate enough that the mine owner, representative of the mine owning family, will be joining them, and that will not be long.
I thought that was a good probing question, picking up on what we talked previously. This interview.
I know. That was I didn't let you get away with that.
You didn't, did you? You're horrible, you.
I mean, this mine owner, just so you know, he's quite sophisticated. He was educated at Rugby, went to the School of Mines at Imperial College,
Good
so he understands how to do business with British people.
Oh, that's his background, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, he's got a good background.
Yeah.
Again, this is the question: when can we expect the recent Q&As Botswana to be published? You've really touched on that.
As soon as, yeah, and we're not withholding them. It's just this story is growing so quickly, and in such an impressive way, and changing in the positive sense all the time. It's difficult to nail the Q&As precisely, but we will do that, and we will get them out.
So it's fluid and liquid all the time.
Yeah, it's a moving feast, but also, and as Paul says, in a positive way. But yeah, we've got to prioritise the work too. I mean, a lot of these things, as you touched on, will be answered through RNSs, and we have a regulatory obligation to release RNSs. So we've got to prioritise that, obviously, rather than Q&As specifically.
That's just great. Like you said, these are from your shareholders and all that, and you're willing to take time out to answer them. How significant is the growing focus and expansion in Thailand with respect to the future strategy? E.g., will Metal Tiger sell Botswana as soon as possible to then reinvest mainly in Thai projects?
Oh no, you're going to get two answers here.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions.
Because I am a tart, and if we got a nice big offer, my wife bought me this shirt. Thank you very much. I'm very proud of this shirt.
Actually, if Michelle, if you see this, I think it's a fantastic choice.
I think you look really.
shirt.
These look really nice today, actually.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm a European businessman. If we got a whacking great big proposal for our interest in any of our assets, then we would take it to shareholders, and shareholders would decide. Right, simple as. And I would love to get a whacking great big proposal through the door for any of our assets or interests. But in the meantime, we carry on with our business now.
And to add to that, though, so in that event, we're not limited in thinking, oh, we better put all this into Thailand. I mean, we're rapidly expanding what we're doing in Thailand, but that's just part of a multi-jurisdictional strategy. So, if we were just focused on Thailand, we never would have done Botswana.
And then you've got Spain as well.
But
nobody's touching on.
But the other thing with Botswana is it doesn't have to be a quick flip of an asset that's sort of struck pay dirt early, because you are still in the low end of the cycle. We are at the early stage of developing that asset. We're a few months away from having a maiden resource, but there will come a point, no doubt, and maybe we do get a ridiculous offer or something. But yeah, there's no rush to develop, to sort of sell that on or something. You want to maximise the value for shareholders and for the company. So we're not, going to sort of cut ourselves short with it.
You've been drilling 2 months, and like you said in your comment there, so it's not. It's just really starting, isn't it, to be honest.
It is, but it's a remarkable asset and interest. It's different.
I must admit, when I met the Mod Resources team, when they were in London, and obviously Terry was over Telegramma, and they were very interesting people to talk to, them guys.
Yeah, and they didn't have the data then that they have today.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
That's a big difference.
I met them twice in 1 week, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really upbeat, like they were.
And that's it. If they're evidencing, what's being found now, I mean, why would you give that up? Unless something absurd did happen, like there was an embarrassingly high offer of something, which obviously you've got to be responsible as a board, and shareholders would ultimately decide if they wanted that. But yeah, but I mean, it should be potentially a world-class resource, but it still needs to be proven.
And obviously allocation of capital, you know, will come down to what's the most efficient use of that capital at the time. So if there was a massive takeover of our Botswanan assets, I think shareholders would be pretty annoyed if all of that capital was piled into Thailand, as opposed to using debt financing, for example. They'd probably expect a distribution.
No, that's excellent.
And lastly, as Metal Tiger has a track record of doing, is we do think outside the box of how to monetise and maximise value for assets and things that we get involved in. And to sell a project is just one way of monetising that. There's plenty of other strategies we would consider.
All right, no, that's great stuff.